What's up, folks? It's Rob Barrington from LearnBridge.nyc. So let's take a look at hand number one. We start off right away with a good slam hand for North-South. North opens one spade. South bids Jacoby, two no trump, 13 or more points, and at least 4 card support in the spade suit. Now, this is where those scripted responses come in, and this is the only time that we're going to be showing shortness or extra length, so we want to make sure we get it right. And on this hand, North has shortness in diamonds. And shortness, folks, is a singleton or a void. So the 3 diamond response is mandatory. Notice North should know that they at least want to try to play slam. Their partner showed an opening hand and at least 4 card spade support. And North has way extra values, right? They have what equates to like 20 or 21 points now that they have a fit. But they just start with their shortness because remember, we're in a game forcing auction. Partner is never going to pass. And now South, with just a little bit extra, can control bid. And they want to bid their lowest ranking control. And in this case, that is clubs. If South was a total minimum, like a good 12 or 13 with not much interest in going forward, they could just bid 4 spades. But here they have just a tiny bit extra. They have about 15 with their doubleton here. So they're going to cooperate and show that they might have an interest in slam. That's always what a control bid will be, folks. It'll show 2 things. It'll show control, but it'll also say, hey, I have a little bit extra and it's worth pursuing slam. That's all the prodding that North should need. Their next bid should be 4 no trump, which is 1430 key card. And South will respond 5 diamonds, which is 3 or 0 key cards. Notice we have 2 aces, and we have the king of our agreed upon trump suit. That is a key card. So we're going to show 3 or 0 key cards, and North knows that this is 3 key cards. And it's because of several reasons, the main one being South has already control bid clubs. So this should always be first round control, and it's almost guaranteed to be the ace. If we are really trying to figure out scientifically whether or not this is 3 or 0, we can also just count the points, excluding all the key cards. So look at the North hand. Here's what we're going to do in this situation, or any situation where this might pop up. We are going to count South's potential high card points, excluding any aces or the king of trump. So their potential points in spades are 0. Their maximum potential points in hearts is 3. Their maximum potential points in clubs is 1. And they have 6 maximum in diamonds. And if we think about this, that is not enough points for South's bidding so far. They already showed an opening hand, and then they showed interest in slam. So if we add up all the points, it has to be 3 key cards. It's a cool little trick to figure out if partner has 3 or 0 when there might be a question. This hand, there shouldn't be much of a question, but it's a good exercise to just get exposed to anyway. And now North has more than enough information to just go ahead and bid 6 spades. Now this is a hand where we're very likely just to make 13 tricks. Right? It would take a really severe distribution to keep us from making 13 tricks. It doesn't mean we should be in a Grand Slam. And in fact, the only way we're getting to a Grand Slam is if North just goes ahead and bids 7 spades over 5 diamonds, which honestly isn't beyond the realm of possibility, but you guys know my philosophy. In a club game, it's usually not going to be right to bid a Grand Slam, so you should just be very happy that you got to this nice 6-spade contract. You won't have to worry yourself about play problems on this hand. This hand will pretty much play itself. Board 2 saw East-West get into the action. East starts the auction with 1 spade, and West has enough for game and knows they have a spade fit, but they want to start with a game forcing bid, and that would be 2 diamonds in this case. Now partner knows that you have an opening hand and we're forced to game. East's response is 2 no trump. Now some partnerships agree that 3 no trump in this situation would still show 18-19, but why chew up that amount of bidding room when you can just show a balanced hand and continue the auction at a later time? We should know by looking at the East hand that we are close to playing slam opposite partner's opening hand. If we can find a fit in spades, we are very likely to have a good slam in spades. So we're just going to make our most descriptive bid with the East hand here to show a balanced hand and see what happens next. And now, after we've bid 2/1 with the West cards, our next step is to show our support for partner's suit. Now, we can do this at the 3 level, and this would tend to show a little extra values. And we kind of have extra values. We have a 15-point hand, and we're counting all of our distribution because we have a fit. So bidding 3 spades here is the correct call. 4 spades would show pretty much your minimum for your game forcing bid, and we have just a touch more than that. Now, East could control bid by bidding 4 hearts here, but really they only need to know about the key cards at this point. They know that West has extra values and a fit, so we don't need to control bid in this spot because we kind of have a balanced hand. We just need to know about partners' cards. And this 4-no trump bid will get the best response we could hear, which is 5 spades. And in 1430 key card, as well as any other key card, that shows 2 key cards plus the queen of our agreed upon trump suit. So now, as East, we know partner has the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, and the queen of spades. That's more than enough information to go ahead and jump to our 6-spade slam. And a lot of you played 6 spades on this hand. You did a really good job of evaluating your hands. And remember, it's okay to bid key card rather than make a control bid, because on this hand, East just knows that they have slam. When partner shows a fit and extra values, there's no need to, try to play slam when we kind of know we have it. So 4-no trump is the best course of action with hands like that. Board 7 saw an interesting auction. The South starts with 1 spade, and the question here is, did West get aggressive and preempt on this hand? If West bids 3 clubs, the correct response for North is one of 2 choices. They could bid 3 hearts to show their 5-card heart suit. They could also just Q-bid, and this is the more direct approach. And this would just say, partner, I know we have enough for game, and I have a fit in spades. Notice the Q-bid usually shows 10 plus and support for partner's bid suit, but because North is bidding at the 4 level, this is now understood to be a game-forcing hand, a hand that has the values to play game. If West passed, which is pretty normal in this situation, West is vulnerable, so this would be kind of outside of the range you should expect to be bidding with when you're vulnerable. So really the best bid is passed. Now North can have a standard game-forcing auction. They start with 2 hearts, which is game forcing, and this is the only 2/1 bid, folks, that guarantees a 5-card suit. Always remember, 1 spade, 2 heart shows 5 plus hearts. And South will raise to 3 hearts. South knows they have a heart fit. They clearly know we're in a game force, and they're making the most descriptive bid they have at the moment. Now North can show support for spades, and South will bid 4 spades. And that's where we should have played this hand. If you played 4 hearts, you get partial credit. That's another good major suit game. But 4 spades is going to be better because of the number of trumps that we have. And this is a hand that will probably also make 6, but it doesn't mean you should be there. You need a little bit of help in the heart suit and possibly the diamond suit to be able to make 12 tricks. So playing 4 spades is perfectly reasonable on these cards. Hand number 8 saw East-West with a good practice hand for Jacoby 2-no trump. West opens 1 spade. And don't be tempted by the East hand here, folks. A lot of you might have thought to bid 2 diamonds, which is a game-forcing bid. However, when you start with a 2/1 bid and then you come back and show support for partner's major, partner's always going to think that's only 3 cards. And that's because the 4-card or longer raise is always 2-no trump. And this does 2 things for us. It game forces just like 2 diamonds would, but it also sets spades as the trump suit right away and shows 4-card or longer support. This is always the best choice when we have hands like this. We could bid 2/1, which wouldn't necessarily be terribly wrong because we can show support later, but partner will never know we have that 4th spade. Now comes the scripted responses for West. And those would be new suits at the 3 level show shortness. New suits at the 4 level show a good 5-card second suit. We have neither of those. So now the question is, do we have extra values or do we have a minimum? And These are our 3-spade and our 4-spade bids, respectively. 3 spades would show a hand with some extra values, and 4 spades would show just a minimum. And that's what we're looking at with the West hand. We do have 6 spades, but our hand is pretty ugly. And if we add all of our points together, we're still on the minimum side of the range. It's close, but still a minimum. So we're going to show that by bidding 4 spades. And this says to partner, okay, I know we have enough for game. I know we have a fit in spades, and I'm arriving quickly to that game. So I'm showing just a minimum. And as painful as it might be for East looking at their hand, now they know it's okay to pass because partner's on the minimum side of their range. And we're in a good 4-spade contract here, and we'll probably make 4 or 5 depending on the way we play the hand. Board 9 was an excellent opportunity to use 4th suit forcing and potentially play slam. North starts the auction by opening 1 diamond, and South responds 1 heart. And North should just bid 1 spade. Now, I know a lot of you think that this is a bare minimum, like 12 to 14. However, in this case, when we open a suit and then we rebid a new suit, the range is really about 12 to 17. And the reason is exactly for hands like this. We don't have a game forcing jump shift available. Our hand just isn't good enough. So we need the flexibility to be able to bid the shape of our hand while keeping our range relatively open. And that's why we just bid 1 spade with this hand. And now South gets to make the 4th suit forcing bid, which is 2 clubs. And remember, folks, this is not a natural bid. This is artificial, and it just says, I am forcing to game, and I'm looking for more information. The first priority is to show 3 card support in the major partner bid first. And we have that on this hand, and that's where we stopped. We just bid 2 hearts. And now South can show extra values by bidding 3 hearts. Notice we are in a game forcing auction because of this 2 club bid. So we want to show interest in going forward, and the way we do that is by bidding slowly. Right? The slower approach will always show extra values, and that's what 3 hearts is doing for us here. 3 hearts is saying, okay, I have more than just my minimum, and I'm interested in exploring the possibility of going beyond game. And this is where North can take the reins and do one of 2 things. They can control bid by bidding 4 diamonds, but let's take a look at North's values. They have what equates to about 18 points, right? They have 17 high card points, but the Jack of Clubs is not really worthwhile. And they have shortness. So on this hand, after South game forces and shows a fit and shows extra values, North can just bid 4 no trump, because North knows at this point that they have an excellent chance of playing slam. And South will show just 1 key card, unfortunately. They have the Ace of Spades, which is the only key card they're looking at. And now North has the question, okay, partner has 1 key card. We have 3. That's 4. We should know that we can play slam when we have all 5 key cards, obviously. But the second instance we can play slam is when we have 4 key cards and the Queen of Trump. We don't know about the Queen of Trump, but North has an excellent way to ask, and this is what that would be. When we get a response of 5 clubs or 5 diamonds to our key card bid, the next available suit, that's not the trump suit, in this case the trump suit is hearts, so the next available bid is what's called the Queen Ask. And the Queen Ask just is exactly what it sounds like. It says, partner, do you have the Queen? And the simplest answers are as follows. If we do not have the Queen, we will sign off in our major and we'll bid 5 hearts. With the Queen, we simply jump to 6 hearts. And that's what we're going to do on this hand. There are a little bit more involved pieces to this that would show specific kings, but this is the simplest way to have your agreement. If you have the Queen, you bid slam in your major. If you don't, you just pass. And here we will get to 6 hearts, and it's an excellent chance for success in this contract. We're going to do real well. Board 13 is the birthday hand, or the 4th of July hand, whichever way you want to play it. The auction starts by North opening 1 heart and South making a game forcing 2 diamond bid. And North has only one response to this bid, and it's 3 diamonds. We're raising here not only because we have 4 diamonds, but we have an unbalanced hand. We don't want to be bidding no trump with hands like this, because whenever we rebid no trump after a 2/1, we're essentially showing a balanced hand, and we clearly are not balanced. This is music to South's ears on this hand, because they just have a terrific diamond suit, and if they can find a couple of key cards in partner's hand, they're going to be able to make a slam. So that's kind of all the information South needs on this hand. They bid 4 no trump, and North is going to respond 3 or 0 key cards, which is 5 diamonds. And that's not enough to play slam, guys. We only have 3 key cards in our hand, so we're missing 2. And we know we're missing the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts. So 5 diamonds is enough for us, and we're going to leave it there. And it is your birthday or 4th of July, because you are playing 5 of a minor. And this is exactly where we want to be on this hand. We can't make no trump, obviously, and we can't make a slam if they don't slip up on defense. So we're just going to play 5 diamonds and take our plus score. Board 15 is a great example of the Jacoby 2 no trump in action. West starts the bidding with 1 heart, and East bids Jacoby 2 no trump. And now West makes the most descriptive bid, which is 4 diamonds, folks. 4 diamonds says, I have a good quality 5-card diamond suit, along with my at least 5-card heart suit. This is the most descriptive bid because it brings shortness into the equation as well. If you have 2 5-card suits, you are guaranteed to have shortness. So this is a hand where our most descriptive bid paints the picture for our partner right away. They know we have 5-5 in the red suits, and at most 3 cards outside of those suits. East has a huge hand now, considering that, number 1, they already knew they had a 9-card hard fit. They have 2 small diamonds, and they have good cards in the outside suits. So this is where being the person with the most information is the best person to bid key cards. So they bid 4 no trump, and West will show 3 key cards, and that is the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, and the king of hearts. So they will bid 5 diamonds. Now East knows that they have all the key cards, and East just bids 6 hearts, and we're going to have an easy time making 12, but more likely we'll just make all 13 tricks on this hand. It's an excellent Grand Slam to be in, but again, folks, be careful with that. If you got to Grand Slam, you did amazingly well in this hand, but you took a little bit extra risk in the long run. Right? Being in small slam making is usually going to be an excellent score in a duplicate game. And that's all we have for the hands from September 1st. Thank you all for watching. And please join us for our weekly focus duplicate games Thursday mornings at Cavendish, 9:45 a.m. and Thursday evenings at Aces Bridge Club. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.